Topic two today. How are you with definitions?
Probably terrible, to be honest.
Really? Like if
Feels like
I
something.
give you a word and I'm like, can you give me the definition? You don't think you'd be very good at that?
So I will give you what my definition of it is. I don't know if that's going to be Webster's though.
Okay. All right. This could be fun then because I'm going to ask you to define what success looks like for all of our favorite teams in college basketball. I'm looking for either an actual accomplishment metric or if you want to get abstract, that's fine too. Go ahead and put your Dion magic on this. But I name a team, we must define success. Let's start with the number one team in my preseason rankings, the Purdue Boilermakers.
Natty or bust.
So you're telling me we fast forward to the middle of April. They lose in the national championship game, but win every other game before that. They basically 38 and 0 Kentucky 2015, two championships, Big 10 championship, Big 10 tournament championship, get to the title game, see Houston, lose to Houston by a point. That's not success.
I think there's a. This is Dion dictionary, by the way, not Webster's. I think there's a difference between success and successful. I think that is successful. I don't think that's success, though.
Okay. All right. So ultimately, they have to win a national title. It is truly natty or bust for the best team in the country with this trio of seniors.
I don't know. Listen, Big Bad Paint is here, so I might be way wrong on this. I don't know how he ever gets a better team at Purdue. For what it's worth, I'm not sure like how anyone has a better team than this team, right? On paper, this looks phenomenal. National championship, Final Fours in your backyard. I feel like you kind of have to take advantage of this. I also, for what it's worth, I think it would be worse if they got to the Final Four and lost than if they lost early.
Okay. You'll hear me probably say this again throughout this exercise. I really hate when we have to use March as the determining factor for everything because it's fluky. We like Purdue could have literally the perfect season, lose in the first round on a crazy upset, and it's like, damn, was it all for nothing? In essence, yes, but that's just not how basketball works to me. I'm okay with accepting this answer given the unique circumstances of their seniors, but I think for me, they need to win two banners this year. And the two banners would be a Big Ten regular season title, a Big Ten tournament title, and then a Final Four banner. If you get two of those three, I would have a hard time looking at the end of the year saying that wasn't enough.
The reason I say it's worse if they make the Final Four is because I agree that March is fluky. I don't think the Final Four is that fluky though. I
Sure.
think typically once we get to the Final Four, the best team is the team that ends up winning. It just you don't always get the best teams that get there though.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. All right. To my team. Dusty May, year two. Year one was overwhelming success, I would say. They did hang one banner from the Big Ten tournament. They were in the race until the final week and Sweet 16 appearance where they had Auburn on the ropes. What does Dusty need to do for year two to be a success?
This one's going to be abstract. Obviously, you want to win. I think Dusty will win. I think Dusty wins everywhere he goes. I think Dusty has to get Yaxel drafted in the top 20.
Ooh, basically solidify the Danny Wolf pitch as a for sure real thing.
I think if Danny Wolf goes top 20 this year, Yaxel chooses to return to Michigan and his stock falls. I think that's a really tough pitch to transfers and recruits. I think it's almost as important that he makes sure Yaxel's stock rises and he gets picked in the top 20 or even top 25. And then if you're Dusty, you go kill it in the portal again.
Okay, I love that answer. I'm gonna just add my own twist to it a little bit. Different direction with this. I'm gonna give them an or. They can do one of two things, and this would be success for me. We're gonna set the bar high because I think they're spending high. I think they're spending like a championship program, and I want to see it backed up. Path number one: make a Final Four. You make a Final Four, you announce that this is real. Dusty May, Michigan is here to stay. Path number two, if we don't make a Final Four, what do I need to see to feel like this year was a success? I need a sweet Tom Izzo and the Michigan State Spartans.
Ooh. Well, you know what? Can I provide an or two?
Sure.
Ruin the tradition again, and it's successful.
I want my get back, okay? And listen, I respect everything that is Tom Izzo. I'm terrified of him. I have a feeling we're going to get swept, in fact. But if Michigan isn't Final Four good, then the only way to get me happy is get my get back for that Trey Holloman escapade last year where they stole two from us in the middle of a title hunt. And I'll be real too, Beeline didn't announce that he was here until he started beating Michigan State. That's when it felt real. Was like, oh, this is a heavyweight fight. We're gonna go 500 every year because Beeline built this into some shit. If Dusty May wants Michigan to be taken seriously, they need to beat Michigan State, and that should start this year after how much they spent on Yaxel Lendeborg. Okay, next up, how about Illinois?
Um, I gotta get creative with this one too, just because I've talked so much about how this is the definition of is the world catching up to America when it comes to basketball. They gotta win some banner.
Really?
It's gonna be tough though. Like that's the thing. Like, how can I have them do that when they're in Purdue's conference?
This is
Maybe
the easiest one for me on the board.
what is it?
Success for Illinois, win one NCAA tournament game and finish in the top half of your conference. That was contract extension worthy for their coach, right? That's what we measure ourselves by.
That means the football team really doesn't have to do anything at all. Just be like 4-0 at some point, and we're giving everybody extensions.
Just make some headlines, be in the news with splashy ads, be good, be like a top 30 team in the sport. And then that's a massive success. Did you not see we're in the tournament for the ninth straight season? That's all this that's what they measure themselves by. They told us that.
Actually, you know what? I got a better one for them. Has Kofi had his jersey retired yet?
They don't retire jerseys, they honor them.
Okay, has he had his jersey honored?
Yes, he did.
Whenever they do that again, just make sure it's the correct side.
They'll probably retire Marcus Damask this year, so I'm sure we'll flip that around.
Make sure it's flipped the right way.
All right, next up is Michigan State. What's success for the Spartans?
Cohen Carr, Big Ten Player of the Year. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Honestly, I feel like success is relative. I mean, with this group, probably make the tournament, right?
This video is brought to you by NBA2KLab.com. 2K Lab worked with us last summer as well. They're one of our favorite entities in all of sports gaming. We want to show you their college basketball stadium locator challenge game. And I'm going to share a screen right now as we do this. South Carolina, bang. Okay, that's pretty good. Next, North Carolina. Why are we only getting the Carolinas?
Please
bang.
lock in.
St. John's, that's New York.
New York.
Bang.
Where's New Jersey?
We're on fire. Colorado. I actually don't know what state Colorado
is. It's in Colorado. There's a state of Colorado.
Is that this one?
It's to the right of Phoenix.
Anyway, you get the picture. This game's really fun. They've got more games as well, like Guess the NBA Player, Mystery Fantasy Draft, and more. Stay tuned for all of the college football content and games that they'll be putting together to help you get the best experience out of college football 26. Back to the video. We can't disrespect Izzo like that. That would be, I mean, he does that automatically, so we can't.
But I feel like, yeah, he does it automatically, but like once they do it, if they lose in the first round, I think state fans would be okay with it with the way the offseason went.
Yeah, probably. I'm struggling with this one. Isn't it just win a banner? Like that, they're a championship level program. So get one of them. You're probably not winning the Big Ten with Purdue, but also I don't want to say that. I don't want to disrespect the defending champs. Like y'all are the champs. You're on the throne. You did it last year with Shimon Zapala starting. Who knows? We might do it again. So if it's not that because Purdue got a lot better, then like just get hot in the Big Ten tournament week and do what I did and hang a fake banner and act like you did some shit, right? Like,
I mean, I love that. I will say this: if Cohen Carr pulls up to Mackey and beats Purdue to win the Big Ten title, I mean, my first team All-American takes will be very hot at that point.
Or, I mean, here's a twist. If you wanted to go a different route, Michigan State fans probably won't like this answer from me. Put somebody else in the first round of the draft. Make it a thing where it's now being a oh shit, Cam Ward? He was like 60th, and now he He pulled the Jace too. What is Izzo doing? Maybe you get some recruits that pay off of that.
If Xavier Booker is bad at UCLA, would that be considered a success too?
Honestly, it's just Xavier Booker stinking. That's all that matters.
I
All
think they'd
right.
be happy.
Let's speed run some non-Big Ten ones here. Kentucky, year two, Mark Pope. What is success?
Just be better than last year. I think it's tough to put a banner on it with how deep the SEC is, right? Like I think ultimately success would be a banner for Mark Pope, but at the same time, if you told me they didn't win the SEC because there's, Florida and Alabama and Auburn, Texas, like so on and so forth, like I don't think as long as they're competing, I think I'm okay with it.
I got two answers for this. Answer number one, go further in March than you did last year. That's what I heard from Kentucky fans when they fired Cal was they wanted to feel like there was March momentum. So you made a Sweet 16 last year and then you bowed out respectfully, very graceful. Can you get to an Elite Eight this year? If you get to an Elite Eight, I think everyone feel like there's upward trajectory. Second answer, and probably the answer that will be my answer every year for the Mark Pope Kentucky era, be better than Arkansas.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
last year you were better than Arkansas, but you lost to them head to head, and you both made a Sweet 16. The jury is still out on if Cal will be more successful at Arkansas than Pope at Kentucky. You've got to outperform that team.
Honestly, I think we have to throw BYU in there too, because I feel like with the way everything happened, it was like, okay, it's gonna take Mark Pope a second. Like he needs a year to regroup, but like Cal and Kevin Young are able to do it right away. And now it's like year two, and Cal and Kevin Young are ranked just as high, if not higher, than Kentucky at the moment.
Speaking of BYU, what's success for them?
Ooh, uh, I think he needs to get another McDonald's All-American.
Oh, just get a recruiting win in the middle of the season.
I think if Kevin Young establishes himself as a force recruiting wise, whatever they do on the court can be like defended.
Yeah, it's hard because I want to use team metrics for BYU, but everything Kevin Young speaks on is more like prepare these guys for the league individual. So I feel like we should honor that by saying like individual development. Can you get two All-Americans? Can you get someone that's not Debansa into the NBA draft? Or maybe as simple as this, have AJ be the number one pick. Make sure Darren Peterson or Cam Boozer don't flip the narrative on him this year. And if that
I was
happens, I think that's success.
I was gonna say Richie Saunders get drafted.
Could be Richie. I think he will get drafted, but he is a year older. But we'll see. All right, couple other quick ones. North Carolina.
Um, Nothing on the court, nothing off the court. Just reestablish your identity.
It's Fire Hubert.
Yeah, that's basically how you reestablish your identity.
I'm trying to give the fans what they want, or at least what they need. Like, let's cut the shit. Do you really want to get like a 7 seed and finish fourth in the ACC? And like that's sorry, I'm gonna be passionate for a second. That's not Carolina. We're at a point where Carolina's not coming into seasons anymore. Like we are Carolina. We're like trying to limp and keep it together. And like, can we keep our just cut the shit? Success is get rid of this guy and nail the hire. Get Nate Oates or somebody that good. I'm sticking with that until further notice. The rival Duke.
um, Natty. Got to. I think with Shire, he's done everything else at this point. We know no one can recruit with him really. He gets pretty much anybody that he wants. We know he can win in the regular season. I feel like last year he showed he can get to the Final Four. It's like okay, well now you're there. Do something with it.
I am gonna give him a little more leeway, just a tiny little more leeway. Make the national championship game. That's still one step. They were one step away. They lost in the Final Four. Just get to the peak of it, and then I'll still feel like there's upward momentum here. Trying to see if we lost anybody else. Maybe a quick Louisville, and then we can wrap this.
Um, Louisville is tough to say because I don't know how this is going to gel, but I think Michael Brown has to be one and done at least.
This is weird because it's similar to what we said for Kentucky. I think Louisville's is be better than Kentucky. Can Pat Kelsey be the better of the two hires between him and Mark Pope?
If Louisville's better than Kentucky, I think Mark Pope's facing a little heat. I think
Probably.
I
Yeah.
think Kentucky's substantially better than Louisville.
Oh, I got them very close. I think they're Yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I got them very close. I thought of two more I want to do quickly. UConn.
Ooh,
This one's hard to answer.
yeah, this one's hard to answer because Hurley would say national title.
Right.
So I think I got to go with that because that's what Hurley would say.
We're just going to respect Hurley. Success is a national title.
Have to.
See, that's just made me admire UConn again. Like, we're going through everybody else on this, like, oh, fire their coach, oh, win one game in March, oh, be better than my rival. And then Dan Hurley, who didn't even finish in the top 25 last year, is like, yeah, it's title or bust. Fuck them. I love it. Okay. And then lastly here, I think this one will be really hard to do. Kansas.
I am very, very high on Kansas this year.
Are
I
you?
think I think Kansas is a dark horse national championship contender. I love teams that have one like phenomenal player and they just surround him with role guys, guys that aren't going to take the ball out of his hands. So I love what they're doing with Darren Peterson. I think they got to win a banner in the Big 12.
Just get one banner. The hard
Yeah.
part is like it's kind of like Big Ten. Like Houston's so good. I don't really know that there's a world where Kansas outperforms them over 20 games, but I don't know. It's weird because they're on such a slump. Like you could tell me literally just make a second weekend feels like a success for Bill Self again right now. Um, but it's Kansas and it's Bill Self, so if we're gonna do March, it probably should be Final Four or just a banner. But I feel like a banner in the Big 12 is hard to come by this year. You could also go the route of like Darren Peterson outperforming DeBanza or something like that. Um, but I don't know. Do we take the easy way out and say just get a banner across all of this?
I think it's just a banner. I didn't mention Peterson because I think he does outperform DeBanza. I just don't think it matters come draft night. I think DeBanza is just like the way he's built, teams aren't going to want to take Peterson. I was going to mention this though in the Houston Kansas debate. Peterson is an alpha's alpha. He's going to stare Milos Uzan down and be like, come on.
Yeah,
Like, I think some of the stuff that Kansas had in the big games last year were like, I'm not trying to like bash anybody that was on this team. I just feel like they like quivered a little bit. Darren Peterson's not going to let his dudes quiver by any means. They'll be ready to go against anybody.
I agree for what it's worth. All right, that was a fun exercise. Lastly, what is success for us this year?
Um, Live show at the Final Four.
Yeah, that's got. But my issue is we're not going to do that. We're going to spend all year gassing it up and then not do it, and we're going to have to sit up there and be like, "This was a failure." Like we're going to be in an Airbnb 45 minutes from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, drinking seltzers with the same four people we were last year, with no cameras out, being like, "Damn, we didn't do it."
What if we get a B&B with like multiple comfortable beds this year?
Okay, honestly, just get an Airbnb within 10 minutes of the stadium. That's success for us this year.
Massive success.